I cannot believe how many women said to me when I got divorced, "Oh, you were able to do that because you're not the one that runs the money." What? Why should that have anything to do with whether or not you stay in a marriage that's not feeding your heart and soul? And this too is a place where often we give away our power, that we really actually don't want to be married to that person anymore or stay in a relationship anymore, but we stay there because the money. How is that going to actually create more happiness and better health and wellness for you and the people that you live with? It's not. We negotiate it away little by little, week after week, month after month. And it's time for us to actually choose the financial path that we want to be on. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Julie Murphy here, financial planner for over 25 years. And guess what? I'm here to help you get to a life that you absolutely love. Why? Because you deserve it. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like, and that notification bell because we're going to get you there. And I just need you to promise to yourself that you're willing to look at your financials in a way that you've never looked at them ever before. Because the question I'm going to ask you today is, where are you financially headed? We're at the beginning of a year here, and even if you're watching this not at the beginning of the year, today is a new day. And you have the rudder to the boat or the steering wheel to the car. And this is what we need to realize. So many of us wind up defaulting to whether it's whatever my employer gives me or whatever the economy performs at or whatever my spouse allows me to spend. Like, we have all these financial constraints. And what it's done is it's put so many of us in a place where we don't feel like we can direct it to go where we want it to go. And what tends to be easy for a lot of people is just to kind of go, "Oh, well, there you go." And it doesn't get us all at once. It negotiates itself away a little bit over at a time. Like with your employer, you start to say, "Okay, I can understand things are a little rough right now and I get that I got the promotion, but I'm not getting paid." Stop. No matter what is going on, there's always a way to find a solution. And with that employer, if you really believe that you are actually deserving of that raise, they will find you the money and not give you an answer that's no. It's about you holding extremely loving and healthy boundaries for yourself and saying, "Yeah, maybe you work with them in a period of time, but you hold the boundaries and you hold them to what they say." I've had clients who have been in new jobs for 3 years doing the work because somebody was laid off and now they're doing the job of both and they're not getting paid for those promotions. And why does it have to come to a point where people say, "I'm going to quit"? Because employers, people know how far they can push your boundaries, and you're being called to maybe hold a healthy boundary for yourself so you can get back to a place of your own personal financial empowerment. I was also reminded, like, we talk about your money with your employer, but let's talk about money in terms of your relationships. I cannot believe how many women said to me when I got divorced, "Oh, you were able to do that because you're not the one that runs the money." What? Why should that have anything to do with whether or not you stay in a marriage that's not feeding your heart and soul? And this too is a place where often we give away our power, that we really actually don't want to be married to that person anymore or stay in a relationship anymore, but we stay there because the money. How is that going to actually create more happiness and better health and wellness for you and the people that you live with? It's not. We negotiate it away little by little, week after week, month after month. And it's time for us to actually choose the financial path that we want to be on. And some of that comes from the fact that, if you think about years ago, what did, we'll just say, a husband and a wife in their home? A lot of times one would run the cash flows and the other one would run the investments. A lot of times, as a financial planner, I would see that the husband ran the investments, but the wife ran the checkbook. But we don't even really have checkbooks these days or check registers because everything's done electronically. And so those duties, now it's more fly by the seat of the pants. And depending, you may be in a household where you had careers before then. And so you may have your own operating checking account, and then your spouse has their own operating checking account, and then maybe there's the household one. That actually keeps you more in a place of empowerment in running your cash flows in a household. But you might be the at home parent, and that's why you didn't keep your separate checking account. So you just kind of put it all into one. And then over the years, as the kids get older, you start allowing the other person to hold more of the financial empowerment than you. And I get it. We just get busy and things like split apart. But what's interesting to me is that you can't be checked out forever. You can't not, because if you want to actually, get out of that relationship, a lot of people won't because they don't feel they have the information. And then it's getting to a point where it's awkward to ask about the money because then the other person gets vulnerable and it can turn into something that it's not. And so it's super important for us to take a step back and look at your life and say, okay, how can I start to choose more of the financial path that it might be? So if you're that at-home parent that wants to know more about what's happening month in and month out, well, maybe you go to mint.com or some other electronic budgeting system and you connect your credit card to it so that you can start to analyze some of your spending. So you can, because this is all about choosing your financial path, is all about just increasing your awareness, whether it's increasing your awareness about your cash flows or increasing your awareness about what you want to spend and not spend, increasing like, where does this fit for me wanting to stop working someday, or my kids' college, and whatever that financial goal it is that you have. And it's about just increasing your awareness so that you don't feel like you're spinning out of control. Often what happens is we're flying by the seat of our pants and the paycheck comes in and then things get spent. And you're like, I wish I would have. And let's not have it be one of those, I wish I would have. Because many of us are getting way too tired, overworked, exhausted, and life is getting busier, faster, and then you add all the other stuff we've dealt with over the last few years from pandemic on top of that. It's a lot. And we can't keep doing more to then patch the holes in our financial plan, because doing more is no longer an option, because we are literally killing ourselves as a society. We have to start to actually increase that awareness and increase that consciousness around not only where our cash flows are going, but the goals for our money. And the goals that you once had, are they even relative to what you have today? Maybe you have to start in terms of financial education. Maybe you start, like, I really don't understand that stuff that I have in my 401k, and maybe I should. And there are no shoulds. I should say, is there a desire for you to want to learn more? Or would you like to continue to be at the current education level that you're at? These are all ways that we step more into our financial empowerment, more into our financial awareness, so that we are actually an active participant. And keep in mind, active participant can be that once a quarter you have a financial date night or a financial appointment with yourself to look at it all. So choose your financial path. Choose how you want it to go. It does not matter one iota what you've created up to this point. You just have to accept that you've created the reality that you have, and then allow yourself to expand into a new reality. But you have to decide, what is that path that you truly want to create in your financial world? Because I guarantee you it's going to ripple into all the other parts of your life. And don't forget, please subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell and the like button, because I'm here to help you to get you to a life that you love. Thanks, everybody. Bye.